I am so excited to go live and share with you three secrets, three things you have to understand about Instagram. And I'm so excited to do this with you live because today at midnight, the Instagram lab is closing. So I wanted to walk you through, if you missed my live webinars or my trainings and you wanted to just kind of catch a synopsis, there were three main points that I wanted to walk through with you today because they're so important with how we approach Instagram, but they also are really critical with how we approach our business and marketing and serving and showing up. And so I'm going to walk you through three things that you have to know about this platform, how to use it, how to show up, how to serve. And then I'll share a little bit more about my program that is actually closing at midnight. So the first thing you have to understand about when it comes to marketing in general, whether it's Instagram or Facebook or email marketing even, or even on your website, is that what happens is a lot of times when we switch our brains from being a consumer to being a business that has something for sale, we go into this massive marketing mode, right? We're constantly thinking in terms of sales pitches and selling and getting people to buy our product. And what happens is that a lot of times in those marketing messages, we lose the meaning, we lose the ability to connect with other human beings, and we definitely lose the ability to serve. How many of you have followed an account of someone that you love, someone you connect with, maybe someone you know in real life, and all of a sudden they start a business or they enter into a business and they're just constantly selling, and you're like, what happened? Wait, what are you talking about? I'm so confused. I'm kind of avoiding you. Maybe I unfollow you or I avoid your DMs. It doesn't feel good to be sold at. Instead, we want to be spoken with. We want to be served. And so the first point that I want for you to think of when it comes to marketing on Instagram specifically is that you're not just on Instagram to run a business. In fact, you're on Instagram to do so much more than market a product, a service, or an offer. You should be on Instagram to connect, okay? What happens is that Instagram is not a platform that's made for selling. I've done so much research on the company, on their culture, on what they measure in terms of metrics, and get this. This is how Instagram measures their success. So you're probably not going to be surprised by this, but basically Instagram's level of success is looking at how long they can keep a user on the app. And in just a minute, I'm going to explain why this is so critical to the way that we use the actual platform. But if their goal is to keep people on the app, then they don't want people to be exposed to sales pitch after sales pitch after sales pitch. They want people to come on and feel connected, to feel engaged, to feel a part of a community, to feel like they're hanging out with friends, whether they're real life friends or friends on the internet who don't even know they exist. And so Instagram is not where a sales pitch should be made. It's where the handshake is. It's the introduction. It's like someone entering into your ecosystem and understanding who you are, why you do what you do, why you're excited about what you're excited about, and what you have to offer. And so what's so important when it comes to running a business and using Instagram as a piece of your marketing puzzle is that we want to focus on not just promoting a business, but we want to focus on building a brand. So real quick, merriam-webster dictionary definitions, a brand is the product or service or offer that is for sale that you can make a profit on, right? A lot of people have businesses where they're just selling something. But a brand, on the other hand, is the actual personality behind that offer. It's the thing that you connect with, the thing that you build that know, like, and trust factor. You can want a product, but you can trust a brand. Can you see the difference in that? And so when we become entrepreneurs or we have something for sale, a lot of times we just lean on the business side. We're like, I have a product, I want you to buy it, get out and buy it. But what we should really be doing is focusing on growing this personality, this recognizable personality that people can and want to connect to. And that's what a brand is. And so it's so important when we look at using platforms like Instagram to recognize, okay, the purpose is that they are going to be introduced to me, my passions, and my offer. But in that introduction, they're also going to be connected. I think that Instagram is one of the most powerful places to build a community, to build people that can really, like, you can connect with. Like, I am crazy about my followers. I love the people that follow me. I build connections with strangers on the internet every single day. And I don't look at the way that I use my account in any way as a business. I look at it as a place where I can share more about what I'm passionate about, just like I'm doing right now, where I can provide value, where I can get people results, and I can invite them into the next step if that's something that they want. Like, just like I'm inviting you, okay, when this ends, if you want to join my program to learn more, this is your invitation. But it's not in a way that's like, do or die. You're going to fail if you don't join this. This is it. Like, it's just in a way of like, here's your information. You are a consumer that is so conscious, that is smart, that is logical, that understands what you need. And I trust you to do that. So I'm just going to equip you with the tools that you need to make that decision for yourself. Does that make sense? So when we look at showing up on platforms like this, it's really important that we focus more on connection and serving than we focus on selling. So if you were to scroll through my feed, you would literally really struggle to find a place where I downright sell. In fact, I don't even know if you really would be able to, because I don't use my feed in that way. I use my feed to share, to educate, to get people results, and to invite them. And so we have to shift our approach to how we're using social media, to how we're showing up on Instagram, to make it in a way that feels like we are a human, which we are, who wants to connect, who genuinely has something that they're so crazy about, because if you're an entrepreneur, you're crazy enough to go for it, but also that wants people to feel invited to take that next step. Now, here's the other part of the puzzle that a lot of people miss, is if you are just showing up on Instagram only as a business, only with promotions, only sharing what's for sale or when it's for sale, what you're doing is you're assuming that people already know about who you are, that they already trust you, and that they already have qualified themselves as someone who needs your product. That is the most wrong thing you could do. That's such a terrible approach, because most of the time people need to warm up to the idea. They need to become aware of it. They need to understand it. They need to do that in a non-pressured incubator. And so if you are only showing up and sharing your product, your service, or your offer, you're already assuming that the people that are following you know that they need it. And chances are they don't. And so it's so important that you're sharing things beyond what you do, because one, you're a human being, your measure is not found in your output, but two, those things that you are sharing beyond your work, those are the reasons why people will follow you initially, while they start to understand what you do, and while they start to figure out if they are a fit for it. So this is the reason why throughout my entire journey of entrepreneurship, I've shared my life, whether it was the days of mac and cheese and fostering puppies, or the days when we were struggling with pregnancy loss, or the days where I was pivoting my business from photography to business and podcasting. I've shared all of that because people connect with those things, even if they don't connect with what I'm selling, right? Oh, Siri's talking to me. Siri, not right now. So I want for you to understand that when you're showing up, it's important that you don't just hide behind your product, your service, or your offer, but that you are showing up in a way that provides opportunities for people to connect with you, that you're just straight up serving and helping them become aware of what it is you do, how you show up in the world, and how you serve. Does this make sense? Give me hearts or comment below if you're tracking with me, because I want to go on to number 2. So number 2 is this. So many people are so focused on vanity metrics. What are vanity metrics? Vanity metrics are likes, comments, engagement, followers, all of those numbers that the world can see, that makes it feel like every post we do has become this peer-reviewed journal, right? Like, it's not like we're just posting our lives anymore. It's like we're posting for what's going to, quote, perform well. And I want to flip that on its head, because one, it adds so much pressure to the platform. Two, it's so frustrating when we can't figure out how to crack the algorithm code. But three, it's not actually getting us anywhere. So here's what we should be doing. I love this. Busy says, I'm literally doing the exact opposite of what I should be doing. I hope that this is helping to kind of break this down and show how Instagram can be a place where you connect, where you share your story and your legacy, and where you're not caught up in things like engagement. Because guess what? Engagement does not pay the bills. Okay, so let's talk about vanity metrics, and let's talk about how we flip that on its head to help you get actual results on the platform. So, for example, if you were to scroll my feed, you would tell me, Jenna, only ever post about motherhood, post about body image. Don't ever talk about business, Jenna, because when you talk about business like you're doing right now, your engagement sucks. Don't do it. It's not getting you anywhere. But little do people know that even when I talk about business and the posts, quote, fall flat or don't do great in terms of engagement, those are the posts that are so intentional that move the actual needle in my business. These are the posts that help me grow my email list, that help me connect students to courses, that help me get new contacts, that help me book podcast guests. These are the posts that are actually strategically performing the best, even if they look like they're the worst. So what's so important for you to focus on is that, yes, it's so important to look at things like likes and comments and to help that guide the way that you create content so that your content is connecting and landing, but it is not the end all be all. You want to make sure that as you are looking at your brand, because we're not just running a business, that we are serving and connecting, but that we are also putting in strategic posts, even if they fall flat, that are tied to real results. So when I show up and I share about my business, I know it's not going to be knocked out of the park in terms of likes and comments. However, I know that the 100 or few thousand people that like and engage with that post, those are my people. Those are the ones I'm speaking to. Those are the ones I'm showing up for. Those are the ones I'm serving. Those are the people that are going to take the next step with me. So I will never stop talking about business because it doesn't perform well. It's not about a performance. It's about connecting your actual efforts to results. We look at ROI all the time, return on investment. You are spending your time, your energy, your emotions on the platform of Instagram, and yet you're not connecting your time, your energy, and your efforts to real results. So the problem is that if you're not thinking through what is the next step for someone, the next step should not necessarily be on Instagram. How do I get somebody off of the platform so that I can give them a better experience, an experience only that I can offer? And what does it look like to invite them into doing that? This changes everything. If you attended my webinar last week all about this topic in Instagram, then you know how this works. I shared about Instagram. I shared things and that would get you results. And then I said, hey, sign up for this free training. I'm going to teach you about this, right? That for me was a huge win because not only was I able to serve you via my email list, I was able to serve you via my free webinar where I was able to also then share about my product, the Instagram Lab, which is what is closing tonight. And so it's not in this scammy like buy now way. It's like, let me give you more value. Let me give you more value. How can I show up for you and give you more value to help you make a decision that you need to make? And it comes across in a way that is so much different than just selling. It is genuine serving and inviting. And so I want for you to understand metrics matter, sure, but you want to make sure that you're not just letting those metrics dictate the way that you show up, the way that you serve, and the way that you invite people. Okay? This isn't a peer-reviewed experience. This is a place where you are building a brand, where you are connecting with other people, but where you are also being wise and strategic with your time, your energy, and your money so that you can tie what you're actually doing to a real result. Okay? Now, number 3 is this. The algorithm is not out to get you. Remember a few minutes ago when I was like, I'm going to walk you through this. Don't freak out. The algorithm is actually created with you in mind. The algorithm's goal is to connect you with the people who are most likely to take action on your posts. So when people complain about the algorithm, I get it. Organic growth is a lot more challenging than it used to be. It's not impossible, it's just more challenging. It's also disheartening when you're working so hard and you're trying to beat the system and you're maybe not getting the engagement that you used to. I get it. It's frustrating. Not a big deal though, because we're tying our efforts to real results and not vanity metrics. But the algorithm is essentially analyzing every single user's habits and looking at things like what type of post do you like to consume? How likely are you to engage? Do you actually DM back and forth with this person? Maybe you have a real life connection with them. And so what this means for us is that as people who are desiring engagement, it's wildly important that we are the ones that are also engaging. So when people tell me, well, Jenna, engagement is down, I'm like, okay, tell me exactly how you are spending time on the platform, intentionally engaging each day. If you are not responding to DMs, responding to comments, maybe even clicking through to anyone who likes your posts and liking a few of their posts just for good merit and for community's sake. If you are not commenting on other people's posts in your feed or responding to Instagram stories, you're not doing the thing you want and expect other people to do for you. And so it's so important. I want to build up a community of people who are engaged and supportive and excited for other people. And that means that we've got to be the engagers. Now, what's happening is that Instagram with the algorithm, their goal is to keep you on the platform as long as they can, right? So we know that. So their goal is essentially to connect you with the type of content that they know you're most likely to take action on. The same goes for your followers. If someone isn't seeing a post, it doesn't mean the post sucked. It means that maybe you're speaking to a more niche audience, or maybe you need to do more education around the topic so that your audience is aware of and excited about it. And so the algorithm is actually just really helping you connect with the right people, which means that when you post, you don't have to post in this generic, I'm going to please everybody, I'm going to speak to everybody way. You can post in a way that is so specific that you speak so clearly to the people who are the right fit for it, that they understand, yes, she's talking to me. This is it. I know what I need to do next, or I know how this is going to work for me. And it transforms everything. It absolutely transforms the way that you show up on the platform. So real quick, I've got 4 podcast interviews coming up in 10 minutes. I want to just walk you through very quickly what the Instagram Lab is and how you can join before midnight. So the Instagram Lab is my signature program. If you want to check it out, you can go to theinstagramlab.com, or you can just click the link in my bio and be linked up to where you need to go. If somebody wants to type that in the comments, it's theinstagramlab.com. And it is an amazing, amazing, amazing program. It is my 4-step process for knowing what to post, when to share it, how to plan your post, what to say about it, and the best, how to actually convert your followers to be real results, to help move the bottom line for you. And so what I love about it is that so many Instagram programs only teach you how to grow your following or grow your engagement, which we now know, hey, let's grow it with the right people with results in mind. And so what I love is that I teach how to convert your results on the platform to real results in your real life. Now, beyond that, we have some incredible guest instructors. We have my friend Natasha, who was recently on the Gold Digger podcast, teaching about how to be confident in Instagram video. We have one of my dearest friends, Juliana. She was in my mastermind years ago, teaching you how to use Instagram Reels. So you're not just learning from me, you're learning from other people who are experts when it comes to video. You're also going to get blueprints, Canva templates. I walk you through how to craft an entire month's of posts in one day. I literally show you how we do this on my team, break down the documents, break down how we plan it out. You get all of this when you join, and you can get started today. The cart closes tonight at midnight, so I just don't want you to miss out. Thank you, Nadia, for posting the lab.jennakutcher.com or the instagramlab.com. Please check it out before it's too late. It is a program that is not just about the vanity things. It is a program that teaches you sound marketing strategies that you can transition to other platforms. And it is a program that is backed by the strategies that I use, but also the strategies that over 10,000 students have used. So if you have any questions, hop onto the sales page. We can chat with you there. We have an opportunity for you to get support. But I just want you to understand these 3 key points, regardless of if you join or not, because I want for us to shift the way that we're showing up on this app, the way that we're approaching business and marketing, the way that we're selling, so that we can raise up this community of people who are focused on connection and serving, who are focused on giving invitations and educating people to help understand why what we do is something that could maybe help them or save them time or bring them joy into their lives. And that's like at the heart of everything. So I hope you guys have an awesome day. I sincerely hope to see you inside of the lab. I hope that this training gives you some insight into what is inside of the Instagram lab. The Instagram lab in total, the program is about 5 hours of content broken up. We deep dive into super specific topics like hashtags, should you have a business or a personal account, how to make a bio that converts. We talk about all different kinds of ways to use a platform, from Instagram stories to IGTV. And so we dive into all these things, so you can either Netflix binge it, or you can take it slowly over the next month or 5 weeks and implement it in your own time. But I'm just so excited about all the new students diving in. I'm so excited to celebrate the cart closing tonight so we can get this next round of students through the program. And I just want you to know that I'm here and I'm excited for you. And I hope that this little boot camp training is something that inspires you to show up on the platform just a little bit differently. I think it can shift everything for you. So have an awesome day. Sending you lots of love, and I hope to see you inside of the program.